Hey everyone, hope you had a good week. Just wanted to touch at the tips here on a Friday afternoon. We told you on Monday that we'd be providing you with some progress updates in the week. As usual, it was a busy week here at HUMBL, so we just thought we'd check in again here on a Friday afternoon and give you some updates both from this week and then give you a view into the week ahead for HUMBL. So we're HUMBL, a Web3 commerce platform. Just really quickly, we like to start out calls with, why Web 2 versus Web 3. So with Web 2, you have these really centralized big tech conglomerates that have made their monetization models based on what we call centralization, meaning you are essentially a tenant of your data, of your usage, of their utility that they've built out. No knock on them. They came through a different technology cycle when the means of production and tenancy were really defined on the World Wide Web. I think that gets away from sort of the core tenets of what the World Wide Web was supposed to be. So with Web3, you think about read, write, transact, and verify. So what you're doing is moving away from an environment in which you post a picture and leave a comment, or perform a search and get an advertisement, these sorts of things, and moving into something that's a little less binary and more into an environment in which you have peer-to-peer commerce opportunities, you have certainly citizen to government opportunities and citizen to corporation opportunities as well. But we think with more control, more privacy, a greater degree of preferences, more decentralization and control, meaning right now Web 2 prescribes to you how you're to be defined on search engines, et cetera. So we are proposing tools, Web 3 CRM tools, that would allow you to start to have more control over the World Wide Web as we move to a more decentralized framework. And in so doing, you have these web wallets that emerge that will have things like DIDs and verifiable credentials that allow you to identify your person, both in the terrestrial world and then in the metaverse as well. So some very exciting developments around the transact and verify pieces of Web3 that we think will usher in a new era built on blockchain tokenization that will not only breed exciting new asset classes, but also access and equitability in terms of opportunities to come in and make a living on the web, become a creator on the web, find new community with other people on the web from around the world. So anytime I think you get behind the curtain on Web3, I know there's a lot of the Web 2 folks that are deeply in control right now that are lashing out in the night at Web 3, but I mean, I can't see a reason why, they would, from a reptilian perspective, want to hand over the means of production and monetization and control that they currently have on you in centralized Web 2. So it's very disruptive, it's very innovative, will take time to develop, but just wanted to show you some of the things we're working on here at HUMBL. So again, we have the HUMBL wallet, which is available now in over 100 countries on the Android device ecosystem. We are still waiting there for the Apple Store to consummate their review of this. Not sure what's going on there. They don't give you a ton of feedback, so we're certainly at the ready based on whatever they need refined in that, and certainly our tech teams are going to be working with them to try to define what that is and get it moving. So so that HUMBL wallet is now available in the Android ecosystem, and we appreciate your positive feedback so far, and of course the things that we need to change as well or update. The HUMBL wallet will also offer discounts and rewards over time within our ecosystem, meaning right now you can still connect to MetaMask or Coinbase on the wallet, but we also intend to want you to step up into our wallet product versus those two players as well. But no issue if you want to stay in those environments also in your use of the ecosystem. Secondly, we have a search engine, a Web3 search engine. So this is one of the first search engines that has direct NFT lookup by wallet, by contract, for things like Ethereum, Gnosis, Polygon, Solana, and blocks. So as things get more tokenized on the web, this will give you the ability to look up and verify, okay, yeah, that's something that changed hands on the web, or that is available for my IP usage, or that is authenticated as a good or a service to you. So those are things we're we're working on there. Again, I think there's been a lot of focus in the NFT environment on sort of the content of the NFT rather than the attributes of tokenization, which we think, as a thesis, we may be right, we may be wrong, will create environments that have that tokenization will touch many more categories than just the artistic exchange of value between people on the NFT market. So always view that as sort of the library, the book moment of Amazon, where Amazon said, wait a second, folks are going to be wanting to order books online to their doorstep on Web 2. So they found a way to do that. And when they did that one thing really well, as a case study in business, they then moved to other categories: consumer electronics, pet food, et cetera. So if you look at sort of the late 90s, there were these, mid 90s, I should say, there's these individual websites where the customer went to buy pet food on one website, they went to buy footwear on another website, and then they went to buy books on another. And Amazon took a more of a portfolio view of Web 2 commerce. But they started with books and said, let's do this really well. And then they expanded to other categories. So we take a lot of inspiration from that. So if you see us walking through an entire exercise of Web3 commerce with the end state being a tokenized NFT of an art product or photography or something like that, please focus less on that and more on the fact that this tokenized commerce is something that we're working on in detail so that we can then scale that out over different goods and services that may be tokenized over time. So that's the search engine, the discovery layer, as we call it. And then as you drill down on that discovery layer inside the search engine, you think about a layer of contextual commerce or transactional value. So this is something where, you look for tickets and then buy the tickets. Those go into the wallet product and ultimately will become NFTs, in our opinion. So you start to have these layers of commerce where you verify and transact who you are in the wallet, you discover commerce on the search engine, and then you transact in value on the marketplace. So really just a 1, 2, 3 funnel of things that we're building for Web3, just to try to take an early swing at articulating globally what Web3 commerce can look like end to end versus Web 2. So in terms of progress updates from the week, we shipped the HUMBL wallet this week. So that's live now on the Google Play Store as of this morning. That also has a Wallet Connect product in it, like I said, with MetaMask or Coinbase. So you can stay in their ecosystems as well. We really believe that Web3 is going to be really inclusive and have a lot of applicability across that. So we're not trying to build in these deep silos or vendor lock-in ecosystems like you have in Web 2 that have created these conglomerates that can get very siloed for the user. So we're building it pretty flexibly with a confident stance. And then lastly, the Apple Store is under review still. So we'll continue to get their feedback and look forward to working with them as well. In terms of the search engine, we have the HUMBL ad units, which were delivered this week, both with Semi Rajwadra and then Leandro Asuna, who I'll walk you through a case study of that here in the end. We are also strongly underway on the HUMBL Pro Web3 CRM dashboard. If you look back at Amazon, they built some amazing tool sets of Vendor Central, Seller Central, AMG, et cetera, that really guided the path of becoming a power vendor on Amazon. So lots of cool stuff to learn from there in their development of Web 2. And then also the HUMBL Ads dashboard. So we're building that out behind the scenes as well, so that folks can start to come to our search engine and automate their process of buying search ads, things like that, or stepping people through tokenized commerce. And in so doing, we then have the marketplace piece. So that launched as well this week in terms of the landing pages. So ad units on search engine, connected the wallet, then you step them through the tokenized landing page. A really cool development this week as well is we're building our token gated landing pages now, where you can embed them on other websites. I saw a knock on us, a week or two ago that was like, well, if all traffic doesn't run through Search 3, then HUMBL's Web3 model is not going to work. Completely disagree. We are building a lot of our token gated landing pages to be embedded elsewhere, so that if one of our partners or sellers, creators wants to take what they've built as a token gated landing page with HUMBL and distribute it elsewhere onto other websites from their brands, their sponsors, their causes, their partners, they'll be able to do that as well. We are also underway on building out metaverse brand stores for some athletes that are ones we're not prepared to announce as yet, but I just want to let you know that we do believe that ultimately in Web3, folks are going to move from these sort of static website environments that were Web2 e-commerce into these sort of 3D, more immersive brand stores where it will feel like you are walking into on your desktop or on the headset, a more immersive brand environment where you can still shop for things, but you're going to be doing it more in 3D and with some more exciting elements of discovery there than you would from just sort of a landing page on a website that sells footballs or jerseys or shoes. So we really think there's an exciting step function to come here with metaverse-based brand stores. We'll still be early, and the brand stores we're building are not going to be connected with the other brand stores, but we wanted to take a swing at what that can look like. So stay tuned. Next week, we'll be talking more in the market about how we can move from Web2 landing pages to then tokenized landing pages on Web3, but also more enriching metaverse brand stores, both for individual athletes or brands themselves over time. So longer form view, but something we are working on right now. Okay, so just kind of giving you a view of how the HUMBL Pro dashboard sets up behind the scenes here to make it easy for folks to move their, their individualized Web2 silos of posting on social media, doing a search engine ad, posting some piece of merchandise for sale on some other website, going to some e-com website to do a commercial exchange of merchandise. So what we're trying to do is make HUMBL Pro as a Web3 CRM, meaning like a customer relationship management tool that can be a software as a service for people to be able to step into Web3 and have much more direct fan interactions, direct consumer interactions, and even on the government side, thinking through more direct citizen interactions. So again, a lot of things we talk about, some are happening right now and some are happening over a long-term view. So please bear with us. We're an early stage company in an early stage space. So please note that some of the things we talk about sit across a paradigm of short, mid, and long range viewpoints. But what I'm showing you right now is actually something that we rolled out in its entirety this week. Please note that I put direct chat, like the Mail 3 direct chat client, in blue because that is not a part of the campaign that launched this week. However, this week we did launch the HUMBL Wallet on Android. We launched some search advertisements for Leandro on the search engine. We have then the client managed landing page that we're working on with HUMBL Pro in the background. So what we did here is we have the client managed landing page with both his tokenization on the page, but then also the embed page environment where he could take it out to other sites if he wanted to distribute that. Then you deliver the tokenized, either the digital tokenization of the NFT or the merch. So that's the client delivery piece. Underneath that, there is the blockchain registry piece that's underway as well. And then you have this sort of connected customer wallet commerce, which gets really exciting in terms of thinking about Web3. Right now, you kind of go in, you enter your credit card, you get signed merchandise or some kind of soft good that you're buying or hard good, and it's sort of delivered to your door and then it's done. So what you're doing with Web3 CRM is you're really creating this exciting interaction between sellers and consumers, or creators and fans, athletes or artists and fans. So it gets really fun here, and we think that we're building out something that's both very thoughtful about how we can move onto Web3 together, but also something that we can then replicate at great scale over time. So that's our company thesis and what we're working on behind the scenes here with that. So this week we started to tease out what that might look like. We started running the ad sales on the search engine with the ad units. Of course, we comped that, so it wasn't a sale, but that was a comped ad unit for Leandro because we wanted to show our use case. Then once you click in on the search engine, you get down into a distributed embedded environment here. to his NFT collection. So token gated landing page. We also have the embed this page unit where he could then take that out, or his partners could take that out and embed it in another environment. So here's the token gated landing page. Again, we're using NFTs here as just an easy to understand illustration of tokenized commerce on Web3. So you have sort of the buy the NFT, the attributes of the product, the embed page, and so on for Leandro, who's an Olympic surfer, who's a partner of ours. And then also just brands and causes. So again, moving from sort of the landing pages of Web2, use credit card, checkout, be gone, the Web3 tokenized landing pages, and then as we get into it over the coming weeks, individualized metaverses as well that will have more attributes than just token gated landing pages. And again, what's really cool is that Web3 creates community as well. So I note here that our wonderful partners at Aurea Group are on the call with us here. Leandro has been surfing remotely in Brazil and Argentina, and he's had some trouble with the mail and so on. So I said, well, why don't you just go down to Santiago? He said, I'm going there already in 2 weeks. So be really fun. So he'll stop off at the Aurea Group and give them some signed jerseys and other merchandise and so on. So really fun to see how Web3 that's emanating from here in the United States is touching a pro surfer in Brazil who's then going to our partners in Santiago to send home merchandise and so on. So I think one of those things that gets lost in the mail with Web2 and these guys that are kind of controlling your data, your privacy, your preferences, your means of production, is that decentralization is breeding these really energetic and exciting communities around the world that will create more economic opportunities between us and our regions, and I think bring us all together as well on Web3 over time and across borders. So really, really cool vibe and fun to see that. And I'm trying to give you guys more of a view on the inside of kind of the culture we have here as a company at HUMBL. So really cool. And then lastly, just kind of an aha view of the HUMBL Pro account that's being built out behind the scenes here. So what we want to do is just create the best environment on Web3 that's available for creators, for sellers, for brands, for vendors to be able to come in and start to kind of create on tokenization things that they'd like to take to market in a verified, authentic way. A big issue with Web2 is that there's been a lot of fake ratings, fake reviews, and fake merchandise that trillion-dollar platforms have been built on the e-com side that needs addressing, in our opinion. And so Web3 gives you some exciting ways to start to track commerce from factory to floor and farm to table in new ways on tokenization. So we're working on that as well, and it gets really fun in that way. So just wanted to give you a more immersive view behind the scenes of some of the things we're working on and contemplating for how we can serve both customers, but then also sellers on Web3. So really fun, exciting times. Thanks for tuning in. Again, just really excited about what we were able to put on the wood this week at HUMBL with the HUMBL wallet on Android, and then this end-to-end case study of Web3 commerce with Leandro and our partners. So thanks for tuning in. Great week. And we'll give you some more details next week about what we're contemplating for brand metaverses as well, in addition to these tokenized landing pages. So have a good weekend, guys, and thanks for tuning in. Take care.